Hello MGMT 420 Organizational Behavior students. This is Dr. Jaros with a video explanation for how I graded your first exam. So let's look at the first question. The first question says, if I am interested in studying how effectively the SU Financial Aid Office disperses financial aid to students in a semester, what kind of OB level am I studying? Explain. Well, this question comes from my lecture. If you remember, during my lecture, I talked about 4 levels of analysis in organizational behavior: the population, organization, subunit, and individual levels of analysis. The subunit level of analysis is the correct answer because at the subunit or group level of analysis, what we are doing is studying a part of an organization, like a college or a department or a division within an organization. We're not studying the entire organization or a group of organizations or individual employees within an organization. We're studying a distinct subunit or part. And since the Financial Aid Office is a part of Southern University, that is the correct answer. All right, let's move on and look at question number 2. What is organizational commitment? Describe 2 of the 3 forms of OC and how they impact on behavioral outcomes. Well, first of all, organizational commitment is the strength of an individual's loyalty to the organization. Remember that the book says it's the strength of their identification, but when we had that discussion during our team's meeting, I corrected that and told you that the book was wrong and that the correct term is loyalty, not identification. The 3 forms of organizational commitment are affective, normative, and continuance commitment. Affective commitment is commitment based on emotions or feelings of loyalty. Continuance commitment is commitment based on the sense that the organization has offered you a deal that is too good to pass up. It's strictly business. It's about the benefits, the financial benefits that one receives from the organization. And lastly, normative commitment is commitment based on a perceived feeling of obligation to remain with the organization, kind of like in a moral sense of obligation. You only had to explain 2 of those, by the way, not all 3. Lastly, organizational commitment is linked to behavioral outcomes such as turnover and absenteeism. When employees experience high levels of commitment, particularly affective and normative commitment, they tend to be less likely to quit and less likely to be absent from the organization. All right, let's look at question number 3. Question number 3 says, list and describe 2 of the big 5 personality factors. If someone works in a managerial job, which factors matter most to their work performance? Explain. The big 5 personality factors are extroversion, agreeableness, conscientiousness, emotional stability, and openness to experience. Extroversion refers to how outgoing or social someone is. Agreeableness tends to refer to the kind of mood someone experiences. Someone who is highly agreeable tends to have positive moods. Conscientiousness refers to how dedicated someone is. Emotional stability refers to how cool and calm and collected the individual is. And openness to experience refers to an individual's willingness to kind of break out of old patterns and try new things. Again, you did not have to explain all 5 of those. You just had to pick any 2 of them. As far as the second part of the question is concerned, as the book states, there are 2 of the big 5 personality factors, extroversion and emotional stability, that are critical to how managers perform. Managers who score high in extroversion, meaning are outgoing and social, and who score high in terms of emotional stability, are cool, calm, and collected, tend to be the highest performing managers. All right, finally, let's look at question number 4. If I, a professor in the College of Business, look up SUBR employee salaries in the state database and find out that my pay is $10,000 less than Dr. Kirk's, and this makes me feel that my relationship with Southern University is unfair, what kind of strategies might I use to correct this? Explain all. Okay. Now, some of you gave me like just one strategy. Like, you might use, some of you said things like, well, I would go talk with the dean or the university and ask them to raise my pay. If you only gave me one strategy, I did deduct points because Adams' theory of inequity actually talks about 7 different strategies that someone can use to resolve in a feeling of inequity. And these are: 1, alter the person's outcomes; 2, alter the person's inputs; 3, alter the comparison others' outcomes; 4, alter the comparison others' inputs; 5, change who is used as a comparison other; 6, rationalize the inequity; and 7, leave the organization. Now, to earn full points for this question, I did not require that you mention all 7 strategies. A few of you did, and I appreciated that. But if you gave me more than one, because I didn't specify how many, but I did say strategies, plural, okay? If you mentioned more than one, you got full points. If you mentioned just one, then points were deducted. Anyway, that concludes my coverage of Chapter 1. I hope this was beneficial in helping you understand how your exam was graded.